Three, two, one, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another look. I got on my safety belt, my seat belt. You say seat belt or safety belt? I say safety belt and seat belt. It just depends. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, and I'm coming to you live. Notes on the News. Hey, welcome on the chat. Hey, Brother Danubian. Thank you, handsome. Look, I'm just looking at your avatar. Thanks for the like. Notes on the News is the segment on Channel Be Fabulous You where we basically read some of the news headlines. Not all of the news headlines, just the ones that happen to catch my attention. So they on my personal feed for whatever reason. I think they interesting. We might read the news headline. I am quite handsome. I bet you are. As Mary Kay would say, somehow I think that's true. um, we may. How do you know Sonia's here? I am so confused. Y'all must have, maybe because you're on a computer, you have more information than I have on my tablet. Hey, Sonia. Is it Sonia C? Is that Sonia? Sonia? So we may just read the headlines because time may be short, or I may have put it on there and just not know what I put it on there for, or I may have put it on there and then just be like, you're on your phone. How do you see Sonia? I only see 4 comments and they're all from you, Brother Danubian. Or I may just at the moment not have anything to say, or I may have so much to say. I'm just not gonna say anything. So this is just notes on the news feed. It's not news. Wow, she said hi fam. That is deep. I have hey beautiful, I'm quite handsome. Hey Sonia, I'm on my phone. Wow, she said hi fam. Now I see Sonia sees I'm here, Angela, but I didn't see a comment before. And like when somebody puts a comment up, all of the ones from before come up. Now whether I can catch them and read them. So I don't know how this. Because the other day somebody came on and y'all were like saying hi. I'm like, I done missed. But anyway, it don't even matter. That is crazy, but it don't matter. Because technology, that's the thing about technology too. It's like I always have the impression that it's like precise and perfect. Like I text you, I have confirmation that I text you. There was one person who I was like, it wasn't really anything she could tell me because I text her and I had confirmation that I text her. I sat down with her. She's like, look, let's sit down with my phone. We sat down and I text her right there on the spot. It confirmed that she got it and it never came to her phone. Like we sitting right there. And I have T-Mobile, she has T. It was the weirdest thing. So even though I think, how did you like it when YouTube went offline last night? So we think the technology, I know that I'm thinking it's like infallible. Like what the thing said, it confirmed that you got the text message. So you got the text message. And I don't care what you say to me, human being sitting right in front of me. I was watching, that's what happened. I was watching a video last night and got on the phone with somebody and he's like, YouTube is like all white. I'm like, I'm watching YouTube. And then I went to my news feed and Engadget was reporting like as of 8 minutes ago, YouTube has been out for the last 30 minutes. I thought it was my computer. Hey, I see. Excuse me, y'all. I'm digging in my ear. It's like I got some kind of feedback. It's so disgusting. Excuse me. The earwax is creating like when I talk, it's like rah, like vibrating in my ear. Like, oh my gosh. When I was a child, I had a serious earwax problem, and I had to learn to clean, like, I don't poke anything in my ears because that packs the earwax in deeper. I'm not supposed to put anything smaller than my baby finger in. They used to give me this thing I used to have to put in my ears, and you could like hear like, like pop, 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 those candies that pop in your mouth. It was like that. And so you put that in, that would like clean the earwax out. The entire internet going down, so YouTube going down is minimal, says I see. Pussycat, hi there, how is everyone? Pussycat, oh, like pussycat. Hello, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you before. I'm like, Pussycat. That's supposed to mean something to me, but I couldn't. Wonder who's responsible for that. I think we've been being hacked, continuously testing different things out, seeing how people react, all of that kind of stuff. Um, I was watching, is it, what's that TV show that people say, The Strain? I was watching The Strain and remember when the woman put the, never heard of you, cat. Um, remember when the woman and her crew put the whole internet, like jacked up the internet? Maybe something like that is going on to distract us. You know, I have a series of photos that I took over the past couple of days, and my jawline was looking very square. So now I'm like very distracted by my jawline. Okay, let me be focused on like the issue at hand. So welcome to Notes on the News. You know that we start off talking about the Nguzo Sabo. We have been reading essays from endarkenment.com. We just finished the last time we got together, which was only 2 days ago. Y'all see I'm on a roll. And I even went and watched Queen Sugar because I'm like, I'm about to finish up the season. So I watched one episode yesterday, but then they wanted me to buy episode 9, 10, and the rest of the season. On their on-demand stuff is a trip. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Because I just don't see myself buying Queen Sugar. I just don't. I don't even understand why. Like it just finished. Like I don't understand. And then I could see episode 8, but I can't see episode 9, 10. It seemed like if you're gonna make me buy something, make me look, if you're gonna make me buy something, make me buy the other ones. This is my what were we talking about yesterday that I'm part of the Illuminati? These are my secret Illuminati symbols, signs. I don't know why I do that. What does that mean? So we focus on the principles of Kwanzaa, reading essays from endarkenment.com. Yesterday we finished up Kujichagulia, which is I just love the way it sounds, self-determination. Today we are moving on to the third principle of Kwanzaa, which is collective work and responsibility. This is our second time cycling through these essays from endarkenment.com. The first time in the beginning, I was trying to read the whole essay in one shebang, and then we cut down to like one paragraph at a time. So I don't know, by now this might be our second time going through some of these paragraphs, but some of this stuff is kind of like dense. It's like it's a lot to absorb. So we are on collective work and responsibility in English, which is Ujima in Swahili or Kiswahili. Ujima. I think that's how you pronounce it. I get Ujima. It's a couple in there that I'd be like, I don't know. But it's collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. When we're solving each other's problems and making each other's problems our problems, oh, look, I can see right here. It's like it's a little slight. See, when the sun is on it, it's like you get that soft. But when the sun is not on the actual camera, it's like a crisper shot. What's it like? What's the weather like where you are? It was like cold but sunny. It's been like the sun has been coming in and out of the clouds. But it's like a crisp fall day here, maybe even like a winter day. I think it's been like in the 30s and 40s, but I'm in Detroit. I'm cold and wet. And that wet, that'd be woo, that'd be the worst. That's me sending you my hot breakfasts. It's gonna make it better. Y'all see the black squirrel back there in the background? Okay, so so we're gonna read the first paragraph. The third principle is Ujima, which is a commitment to active and informed togetherness on matters of common interest. Active and informed togetherness. That feel like that could be a whole sermon right there. I said active and informed togetherness. Active and informed. Let us talk about the word active togetherness. Let us talk about informed togetherness. That's something to marinate on right there. But I ain't got time. We got to keep it moving. On matters of common interest. is also recognition and respect of the fact that without collective work and struggle, progress is impossible and liberation unthinkable. Liberation is unthinkable if we don't work together. How you gonna get free if we ain't free? You can't get free without we all in this together. It's unthinkable. Who says unthinkable? That is just unthinkable. I don't say that. I don't. But I might start when we gonna get busy though. When we gonna get busy. I've been thinking a lot. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Moreover, the principle of Ujima supports the fundamental assumption that Africa is not just an identity, but also a destiny and a duty, i.e., a responsibility. In other words, our collective identity in the long run is a collective future. Thus, there is a need and an obligation for us as self conscious and committed people to shape our future with our own minds and hands and share its hardships and benefits together. Um, I think it was Sister Ajalee I was listening to, but just again, just talking about and thinking about this whole concept of separation and the importance. Like, I kind of feel like it's not even possible for us to begin to do any serious analysis. I just watched The Matrix last week or the week before. Again, I had only seen it once, but I watched it again because somebody said it's obvious if you watch The Matrix that a black woman wrote it. Like, nobody but a black person could have written The Matrix. And I'm like, really? So I wanted to watch it from that perspective. So as long as we are plugged into the matrix, how can we think independently? I mean, there is the concept matrix equals a headache for me. There is the concept, which I think is true, that there was a first person who freed themselves from the matrix who became part of the liberation movement in the context of this movie. But in general, we need each other and we need to be free from the matrix in order to analyze and to like begin to like strategize. How you going to get free from the matrix while you're in the matrix? How are we going to even construct a liberation strategy for ourselves when we are eating, thinking, living, breathing, drinking, partying, being entertained, speaking in ways that are not natural to us, that are not for us, that are not about our liberation, that are like anti us? How are we going to do that? We have to separate. Like, we have to separate emotionally, we have to separate spiritually, we have to separate mentally, we have to separate like we physically. But I feel like at first when I heard the concept of separation, I always thought about it in the context of separation physically. But now more and more I think about the importance of the separation mentally. I've only seen it once too. I bet I'd have a better understanding now that I'm older. Yeah, I think now that I'm old, yeah. And it didn't, yeah, yeah. And I was watching it specifically trying to understand it from that perspective. So it's been a useful metaphor. No metaphor is, our situation is our situation. So a metaphor is only going to go as far as it can go. But anyway, just been thinking a lot about that. Um, yeah, so yeah, okay. So when I say Habaragani, is that what's the word for today? You say Ujima, and Ujima is spelled Ujima. So if I get lost or confused or don't know what to say, or if you don't know what to say, just say Ujima. We need collective rules in the black community. Churches in my community is the matrix. Yeah. And so I guess I just think about like the difficulty. Like, I think it's easy to say, oh, well, just separate physically, separate spiritually, separate nutritionally, just separate. But I think that practically and pragmatically, hey, got a shoe, practically and pragmatically, how does that happen for us as black people, living in America or living anywhere in the world? I don't know. There may be a lot of parallels everywhere in the world, but how do you separate? And then when I think of like, I've basically been a vegetarian since I went away to college 89, 90, like since around like 90, 91. Like I started making the transition into vet. So it's like that's a long time that I've been thinking about and working on and dealing with certain issues. And so now that I'm being like intimately exposed and not professionally, because I did have some professional exposure to supporting people and making the transition from um, eating meat or like elevating their eating. But now that I'm intimately exposed to it, I'm like, wow, this is really complicated. And then not only things like vegetarianism, but like the soap that we're using, the alcohol, like it's just like it's so many ways in which we're connected to things that are unnatural to us and are not for us. Is the language that we're speaking for us? Are the foods that we're eating for us? Is the air that we're breathing for us? Are the communities that we're in for us? Are the things that we have up on our walls for us? Are the things that we're looking at in social media for us? Like the things that we're watching on TV, are they for us? Are they about advancing us? Are they about elevating us? Are they about celebrating us? Are they reflecting to us our best selves, our greatest potential, our natural selves? Or it seems like so many things are about consumerism and so many things are about capitalism and selling us things and getting us to buy into things that are not really for us. Hey, Ayapo Yapa. um so just this whole concept of like separation, and like I feel like that is, I never thought of separation in the context of collective work and responsibility. It's just okay for me to separate, but it's incumbent upon me to support my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, my children, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins in separating. And that's the do. That's more than a notion. That's like a big do. And I feel like until we're separated from the matrix, we can't even get together and like really talk and strategize. Like somebody like what we talking about on YouTube in public that's viable. We can't when we in the matrix, how can we even strategize against the matrix? How can we even begin to think? I mean, like every the matrix is feeding us all of our nutritional content. The nutritional content is designed to keep us in the matrix, to think us believing that we need the matrix, to think us believing that the matrix is the best and the most wonderful and the greatest, and that even when we come out of the matrix, we're we still have the residual in us, so that residual value system is still in us, some of us more than others, where some of us are like, shoot, I want to go back into the matrix. I don't care, I just want to be happy and comfortable and have the illusion. So I feel like this idea of like collective work and responsibility, if we take that concept and think of Ujima in terms of separation, like how is our separation our responsibility, not just my separation, but how am I responsible for all of my family? Born to the matrix. Yeah. So yep, that's Ujima. So then the next thing that we do after we do the Kwanzaa principle is that we jump over to see what the Buddha has to say in a segment that Ayapo Yapa named Yo Buddha, what up though? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. But periodic daily words of the Buddha. Now this is for October 18th, but of course today is October 17th. We a little bit ahead because we fast, we precocious like that. If you fear pain, if you dislike pain, don't do an evil deed in open or secret. If you're doing or will do an evil deed, you won't escape pain. It will catch you even as you run away. Don't start none, won't be none. I don't really think it's exactly that, but it's like if you want to be happy, then do things that will contribute to your happiness and the happiness of other people, and then you will have happiness that will be reflected back to you. No matter where you are and what you're doing, do the right thing, as Spike Lee said in the title of the movie. Has anybody seen that movie recently? I know somebody who told me that they watched Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I don't know how many times they said, so I'm going to exaggerate, 78 times. But a lot of times I saw it like once. I might have seen it twice. but that's it. And now Black Panther is on Netflix. I saw Black Panther once. I know people who saw Black Panther, and I'm like, am I gonna watch Black Panther on Netflix? And it was kind of like, I don't think so. Like, I just didn't feel like, especially once I started thinking like, what makes Sammy run? Especially when I started thinking about, um, like Disney and like these corporations getting money, and like, what does Black Panther mean to me? I mean, it's cosmetics. I guess cosmetics are good. Y'all know I'm into lipstick and makeup and playing and all of that. But I mean, cosmetics are only good so far as they are. So no, I'm not going to watch Black Panther. I'm getting a call in. Habaragani. Also, I forgot to say this. I usually say this. Any good news that you have personally, any good news that you have in your family, right? Just a stack of money for Disney. What is this? What makes Sammy run business? Ayapo Yapa said a stack of money for Disney. Did they get money when we watch it on Netflix, or Netflix gets money? I'm just not, I don't know. I don't think that I'm interested enough to watch it again. Like, I'm not really like what's the universe the Black Panther was in? I'm not really into all of that cartoons and stuff. So I don't even really, I mean, it was cool to watch. Like Coming to America. Like I watched, it was cool to watch, and I watched it again like the other day, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I might watch Black Panther again in 5 or 10 years. All right. What makes Sammy run is a line from Do the Right Thing. Get out of here. I have no idea what the context is. Okay. Of that line, what makes Sammy run. So if you have any good news, and I know you have good news because it's a new and a good day, and you're breathing and you have new breath in your body, drop your good news in the comment section. Hey, Mr. Yapa! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Drop your good news in the comment section. Also, drop your good news in the live stream. Y'all know, I think I've told you that this live stream, the commentary doesn't show up anymore after the fact. So, I try to, as much as possible, let the people know who are watching on. The mayor kept asking it to the little boy. Spike Lee is a little bit of a poet. Like, some of that stuff is like poetic, you know. I mean, like, he's obviously an artist, but like some of his eye and some of his ear, it's like it's a little it's poetic, like it's symbolic. It's like little nuggets of stuff that kind of, you could break them open, and it's a lot there. So drop your good news in the comments, because we thought to jump into this news feed, but we need the good news. So, also, I'm gonna like clap it up now for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 claps for everybody who is here live or on the replay. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you'll know when I'm going live. It may be every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. It may be 3 weeks from now when I go live, but if you hit that notification bell, you'll know. It may be tomorrow. You just never know, because I don't know. The only way we's gonna know when we's go live is from the notification bell. Or you could call all your friends and tell them. But we clapping it up for us just for being here today, for having made it here, in our right minds as much as possible, for the opportunity to grow and develop today, and just to be of greater and greater service to more and more people. So how are you supporting yourself in separating today? How are you supporting your brothers and sisters in separating today? When you speak, see, now this is something that I think I've been thinking a lot about. When we speak to each other, are we saying, oh yeah, it's just, how are we speaking to each other? Are we speaking to each other in ways that are like encouraging and supporting us and making that separation and feeling good about that separation and feeling like strong? Or are we speaking to each other in ways where it's like, yeah, I separated from the white people, but it's hot out here with just us blacks people. Or are we like, I love black people. I love black thought. I love black words. I love black art. I love black love. I love black food. I love natural food. I love black soap. You know, whatever it is, are we like big up in it and being exciting and finding the joy and the love and the happiness in it? Stay on code with support. Yeah, stay on code with support. I think I saw a squirrel sitting in a tree back there. Is that a squirrel? Oh, y'all can't tell. Blackity black, black, black. Right. Are we like, oh, I'm just black? Or are we like, I'm blackity black, black, black? Let's proceed with the news feed. You know, silliness make you two squirrels. Oh, you see two squirrels? Now, this street has 1,000,000 trees on it, more than any other street in the neighborhood, because I walk the neighborhood, and it's nice in the summertime. But I'm going to tell you something about squirrels. Yes, let's. Look, before we proceed with the news feed, squirrels like to come into your house and live. I'm not just talking about Bella the squirrel, Happity Black, like them black squirrels. The U.S. Army hopes to, just speaking and talking to my neighborhood, a smile and a hello goes a long way. That's right. And that's important, you know, and that's an important part of building relationships too. Yeah. And breaking our like our alienation from ourselves and from one another, because sometimes our alienation from another reflects alienation from ourselves quite often. Okay, let's. The U.S. Army hopes to devastate enemies at great distances with a new rocket-assisted artillery round. 20 lottery winners who lost every penny. Now, 20 does not sound like a large number. See, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, when people win the lottery, they just gone cowards, right? Brother Nubian, exactly. Yappa said, for our people, I have a smile and a hello. For the others, I have a frown and a hell no. Is that what you said? I'm paraphrasing because the thing went away. You're so silly. Um, yeah, cowards. That's a whole conversation. When I think of the lottery, I'm always thinking, oh, it's a hustle. Everybody, I have a frown and hell no. It's a hustle. Everybody who wins loses. Eventually, the system don't give you no money except that they plan to take it back from you. I mean, if you happen to make it, you know, win the lottery and like come out ahead, it's like, you know, it's a fluke. I just think, but 20 doesn't sound like a large number. I mean, I don't know, 20 out of, are these just 20 people that they happen to get on a list and study, or like what percentage of people who win the lottery lose every penny? You know, is it like, because in my head it's like 99%, but maybe it's like only 9%. You know, maybe it, you know, I don't know. It seems like it would be to the Matrix's advantage to promote this idea that like, ooh, you can win the lottery and be rich. So it wouldn't be to their advantage to be like, oh, if you win the lottery, you're gonna lose every penny. It's at freaking 66.7 million now. Oh, is that why? Because it seemed like I saw a couple of stories about the lottery, so that's probably why they talking about the lottery. 667 million. Is that what you said? That's a good. I could do something with that, and I'm not going to turn away 6 cents either. I could do something with that too. Every penny. I got a job. I got an assignment for it. Lockheed engineers will determine the fate of the F-22s ravaged by Hurricane Michael at Tyndall Air Base. It's some kind of scam. Yeah. So if you want to get rich, you have to be if you're gonna ride, don't ride with the white horse. If you wanna ride, what song? I feel like it's a song, but I can't quite. It's like I can't quite get it. Oh, it is a song. If you wanna uh dang, I can't figure out what song it is. So I don't know what F-22s are. I guess there's some. That was the jam. You don't know nothing about no jams. I don't know what the I guess it's some sort of military aircraft because Tyndall Air Base. That sounds like something having to do with the Air Force. I don't know, but I guess they got to check the '80s, baby. I guess they got to check to the engineers are going to check to see if they're functional or not or whatever. Due to no, you don't. Health officials warn that a rare polio like disease affecting children continues to spread, growing to a suspected 127 cases in 22 states. So, a rare polio like disease, is it polio? Yes, I do, says Ayapo Yapa. No, you don't. No, no, you don't. Are we seven or what's going on? I mean, I'm just wondering, like, I, what's going on? So is it polio? 127 cases in 22 states. That seems pretty extensive and it seems like a large number. Polio. What do I know about polio? Didn't one of the presidents have polio and he was in a wheelchair? I don't really know anything about you know what's up with polio. So, has anybody heard about this rare polio-like disease? I told you that someone in my family got dang, what's that thing you get from the mosquitoes? La 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 la. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. La 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 la. West Nile. Somebody in my family got West Nile virus this year. The only case in Michigan. So y'all, if you know, prayers out to her as she's dealing with that, and then prayers out to the people who have this rare polio-like disease. West Nile, yeah, West Nile. Did I say East Nile? Um, Woman who was fired after blocking black man from entering his apartment says she's married. Oh my God, it's perfect outside, probably 70, sunny and breezy. Hey everyone, hey Nikki. A woman who was fired after we've heard about this woman. What are they calling her? Somebody. Well, I don't know what they calling her. No, you said West Nile. Woman who was fired after blocking black man from entering his apartment says she's married to a black man and isn't racist. Well, I guess we could just cross her off the list of racist people. So what? She's married to a coon. Yeah, we'll just cross her. And all of the people who have children with black people, we'll cross them off the list. All of the people who have black friends, we gonna cross them off the list. Because you know we keep a big list. The blacks. We keep a big list of all the racist people. So, you know, we gotta update it. We gotta cross her off the list because she got a coon. Her half white husband dissed her. Who's her half white husband? I thought he was. Oh, is he biracial? Thomas Jefferson. Well, we gotta cross him off the list. We giving the side eye to Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson isn't the one who we like glorified as child that he had, you know, these children with, is he? President Roosevelt had polio. Oh, we were talking about polio. I don't know who these people are. Who is Jefferson? Is he the one? Oh no, it was Lincoln who supposedly freed us. Who is Jefferson? Slave monsters made children with black women they raped. Oh, Sally. So they get a pass, right? Of course. We gotta go through and update the list and cross them off. Because you know that list is really powerful. And we don't want no accidental people on the list of racist people. Um Sally Henson, Sally Jennings. Yes, he had a long-standing relationship with a black woman. Certainly he isn't racist either. Right. Um After white woman lies saying little boy groped her, he speaks out through tears. I don't forgive this woman. Now, I saw that video of that little boy and his little brother. That I it was just, I felt really sad for him when I was watching that video. Like he really looked like disturbed and upset, and I'm like, is it gonna traumatize him for like I just felt really bad for him. I was really glad that his mother was aggressively taking up for him and trying to protect him. And I just felt bad that he was like in that situation, because he just seemed like emotionally, like just really like, it just seemed like it was like really getting to him. You know, he didn't seem like, oh, whatever, lady. He was like, "Rrr." So he says through his tears, I don't forgive this woman. I mean, I ain't out here wanting everybody to forgive everybody anyway. I mean, because, I feel like certainly, I mean, maybe in 5 or 10 years or 3 years or 20 years, he'll feel differently and like move on. And, but I feel like that could, like anything could have happened to that little boy, publicly, on camera, off camera, like, oh, he's out here groping white women. So we're going to take care of it because we're vigilantes. Because, they have a history of doing that, to little boys, to grown men, just attacking people to attack people, because some people are savages, and that's just their nature, and that's what they do. So like it's kind of like they could do it to anybody at any time, but it's like once you get in their crosshairs, once some attention comes to you, it's like you're more likely to be a victim of their savagery. She needs to give her husband a mayo sandwich and some potato salad with raisins in it and shut the hell up. Still talking about the woman married to the coon, says Ayapo Yapa. You love you some potato salad with raisins. If I ever meet you, I'm going to make sure that I bring you potato salad with raisins. The only thing is, I don't know how to make potato salad, but now I got the recipe: potatoes and raisins. That child gave proper response, but the adult forgave apartment Betty. Whatever her name is, says Nikki. You could also see how these children love their mother. She's a good mother, married or not, says Sonia Sees. Ew, says Brother Danubian. So what? Is there some like commentary about her not being married? I mean, because it takes two to like make a marriage. We gonna just blame her for not being married? Uh, Somebody was telling me that me too. I felt really bad for that kid. Yeah. Somebody was telling me that there's like this whole like genre of like attacking black women for being single mothers. And I'm like very confused by it, because I'm like, the black women who are single mothers, they didn't have their baby spontaneously. So we not gonna blame, it's not like an equal joint conversation. I was confused. I'm like, so yeah. So I don't know. Um okay. Yeah, I think that the little boy, yeah, it's an appropriate response. There is this blame single mother thing going on. Oh, I'm not here for that. I think that just sounds really strange to me, because it takes two. It takes two to make a marriage work. It takes two to make a baby. I mean, it's some things you can't just do. But anyway, I don't know. I do know, but yeah, right. There is an entire department of bashing for that subject. An entire department. Says Yapo Yapo. Hey, long time love, Marlo's Corner. What up? What up? You make it seem like it's like the various departments, like the Department of Bondi Gaming. What's up? The Department of Bashing Black Women. The department in the Department of Bashing Black Women, there's the Department of Bashing Black Women with weaves, and there's also the Department of black bashing black. Like it's so complicated. Love is simple. Let's just love. It takes two to make it. It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. No one talks about male responsibility, though. I mean, I don't know. I do. Like, I feel like, how you gonna talk about one? The child had two parents. I mean, I do. You do. I don't know. I don't know what a go with that. That sounds like some foolishness and some mess and some confusion to me. I don't understand. Chicago police release video of off-duty officer shooting unarmed autistic black teen. This is coming off of the Griot if you want to follow up on it. I was watching, I think it was Sister Ajali, Radical Sister, Radical Home Sister, Radical Sister 3. It's various channels out there. But I think I was watching her, and she was talking about, this was a whole different story. It takes two to make love. Well, on second thought, strike that, says Ayapo Yapa. She was talking about a whole different story about, I think he was a Nigerian man, but his name sounded West African or something. His sister is somebody in Facebook, like the head of African diversity in Facebook or something like that, and he was weaving in and out of traffic, and the police tased him to death. Now, I had heard about that story. Somebody was tased to death, but I didn't. I was watching her video. I got a little bit more information about, who he was. She said his name. It takes at least two Ayapos, as Sonya sees. Um, but um, it's sort of like people who are, I mean, one thing that she said on the video that I thought was significant was this, or what was significant to me is this idea of, I think she used the language of like mental illness in heaven and mental illness in hell are two different things. And then she was kind of talking about the fact that like when you're in a communal context, like did y'all see Fences? Y'all remember the guy who was like a little bit like, there was like a guy who like seemed to have some mental issues, and it was like the community kind of knew who he was, and kind of like you just did when you in heaven, when you in like a same place, you know who people are, and you deal with people as the people that they are, and it's kind of like a safe space for everybody, and people are free to be who they are. People don't have to conform to some like this is the only way to act, because if you don't, you're gonna get shot and killed. Whereas in hell, it's sort of like, even if you acting, even if you got your pants pulled up to here and you got your hair as straight as possible and your skin is, you trying to be as white and as, as I'm Christian, not black, like they still, you never know what might happen to you. I mean, hopefully, nothing happens to anybody, but you can't really control it in hell, because it's just, and then I was thinking when I was listening to her, it's like, it's a wonder that I mean, I think this a lot, but like, it's a wonder that any of us are saying, like, how are any of us halfway and obeying all the posted speed limits, right? It's a wonder that any of us are even partially sane or stable in any way, like, because it's just so much pressure that we're under, and it's like just so much attack that we're constantly under, and so much hostility and aggression toward us, and so much like hate and like like whew, like, let's all just take a deep breath now, because like just talking about it, just thinking about it, it like liable to stress you out and send you, breaking through the car windows like with no let up. Was he Nigerian? He might have been Nigerian. We know these laws were made for blacks, not for them. And then when you start talking about people who are autistic, one, when we're talking about separating and how the system in its unnatural way creates certain dynamics in us, there's like a lot of arguments that autism is a creation in the context of this particular society, and like some of the ills and craziness of this society, like nutrition, like, there are all kinds of theories. I haven't like really studied. I know a lot of people believe that like the shots that they give the children creates autism. Some people believe it's nutritional, whatever combination, I don't really know. But it's just sort of like, wow. So a teenager who's autistic is shot by the cops. I mean, it's not a surprise in the society at all. But it's disturbing. And, our most vulnerable, the ones that we most want to protect, are, just out here vulnerable, just like that little boy. When I saw that little boy, I mean, that was the thing I was thinking, like, he just seemed so vulnerable and so young. Like when the white woman was like, he grabbed me, he groped me, and she was like gyrating and like just carrying on. He was just in like, just looking at those little boys, those children, they just looked like really vulnerable, and it's like anything could happen to them, and it was like, I don't know. I mean, it's just like this whole thing of attacking the most vulnerable. Like there's the twisted way that this society is and then here we are again, and they are the vulnerable among the vulnerable, right? And then here we are again with Chicago. Like Chicago, I feel like they've spent so much money on lawsuits, because they do so many janky things as a police department. They just spend millions and billions of dollars, it seems, just paying people off for all the jankiness that they do. Like Chicago is like up like with Florida in terms of like how they handle stuff. I don't know what's up with my ear. It's very disturbing. So prayers out to the teen who was shot. It doesn't say here that this child was killed. This article is coming off the Grio. So if you want to research it further, the title is Chicago Police release video of off-duty officer shooting unarmed autistic black teen. Jada Pinkett Smith explains why she and Will Smith don't say they're married anymore. I just kind of skimmed it. I'm sorry to be digging in my ear, but it's really it really seemed like the sense that I got from the article is that like this idea of like once you get married, this is what a husband is and this is what a wife is, and that they just wanted to be free. She just wanted to be free of like those labels and those expectations, and like felt like that stuff was creating, trauma, tension and dissent in her relationship. Or I think for some reason I feel like Jada was the lead on it, but I don't know. Maybe they mutually decided we just not going to use that label anymore. But it reminds me of this man I used to work with who hadn't eaten meat in 20 years when I used to work with him. But he didn't call himself a vegetarian because he like, I could eat meat today. And I just thought that was like really like amazing. So like when people would be like, hey, you want some of this pork chop? He'd be like, no, I'm good. He wouldn't be like, no, because I am a vegetarian. He'd just be like, no, I'm good. I'm sick of them and their kids, says Sonya Sees. Who, Jada the Smiths? And I'm really interested in them. I like the idea of people doing what works for them and figuring out what works for them and being able to release skit that does not work for them. Like if it's causing you trouble, let it go. For the most part, I mean, it's some stuff that's causing you trouble you got to deal with, but it's some stuff that's causing you trouble that you could just let it go and have less trouble in your life and more happiness. So I always love hearing about people who, they just do what I like. I'm here for do what works for you for the most part. If you're not harming somebody else, uh, uh, I feel like they're weird. Yeah, some people think they're weird, but I just think they're individuals. I don't know. I don't really know them. Go to Florida, Jada and Will. Go to Florida. I like them. I mean, I don't know them personally, but yeah, I haven't seen any of Will's YouTube videos here recently, but he's been building a YouTube. He one of us. He's part of the family. Facebook accused of lying about video stats error for over a year. So I guess Facebook out here, they individually weird. So they found each other. They can be weird together. Weird to you is probably happiness to them. So I guess I don't really know. This is coming off of Engadget.com. So I don't really. The impression that I get is that Facebook is like, we got millions of views on our videos, but they probably got like 5. They just lying. That's all I got to say about that. But are we surprised that Facebook is out here lying about whatever? Facebook? We're not surprised. And not news today. Facebook is accused of lying. We're so shocked. Sorry, Bella. Habaragani. Bella jumped up like, what the? And now she's sitting there like, what in the world? Oh, you can't see her. You can't really see her expression real good, but she kind of looking at me like, are you going to try to hit me with that phone? What's your plan or what's going on? I don't understand. I don't like it. I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel safe or comfortable anymore. Bella. Okay. Google's latest Habaragani Ujima collective work or collective work and responsibility. Yeah, I think it's collective work and responsibility. So how are we working collectively? How are we making our brothers and sisters' problems our problems? Facebook means breach at this point, says Sonya Sees. Ayapo Yapa trying to clean and listen at the same time. Yo, Bella, what up, though? I see going on a date with a robot disqualifies him. Will. Did he go on a date with a robot? Disqualifies him for what? Being a husband. Google's latest Gboard stickers celebrate American Sign Language. I don't even know what Gboard stickers are, but I do know that I wish that I spoke American Sign Language. My Spanish teacher in high school, Ujami. No, Ujima. Ujima. Oh, you got the letters right, Ujima. I think you just have the I and the A twisted around. Um, my Spanish teacher, who in high school, good afternoon, the underrated darkness, long time no see. A robot. Those computer dates seldom work out. Yeah, I've heard a rumor that there are some bots on YouTube. Hey, Nikki. Um, Emoji. Emoji. Dang. Oh, so my Ujima, my my Spanish teacher in high school, not only did she sing, she had que tiempo hace hoy, hace frío o hace calor. Dámelo, dame el dinero. It's what I want. It's what I need. But she said it in Spanish. See, I don't forgot that song. But she had a song, give me the money, give me the money. It's what I want. It's what I need. What's the weather like today? Is it hot or cold? We had a couple songs, but she also tried to teach us. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not in the Illuminati. Maybe I'm a sign language specialist. Remember those people who were like faking like they were sign language interpreters? Like a couple, like last year or something, there was like this one woman who was like on a national platform pretending to be a sign language interpreter, but she wasn't a sign language interpreter. She was just up there. What is that dance called? She just up there doing. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not the Illuminati. Maybe it's my inner American Sign Language coming out. But anyway, I wish that I did speak American Sign Language. It seems like there are so many people in the world and different, I'm voguing. Oh, Vogue, 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 Vogue. I think voguing is more like this. No, like Vogue, Vogue. I don't know. Let me not even try. I'm so embarrassed. Don't look at me. Don't tell anybody. Sabar Rimala. Protesters block women from entering Hindu shrine. Okay, so this is the deal. And I think I had heard this before, but I don't think I was like clear on it. But I guess in the Hindu religion, if you're menstruating, then you're not clean. If you have so it's only gonna apply to women because of course men don't have periods. You're not clean. So like, during a third of the month or a quarter of the month or however long your cycle is, you're not clean. And a lot of temples you are not to go in. I think all of the temples you cannot go in if you're Hindu and you're a woman and you have your period. You're not clean then. But this particular temple, Sabar Rimala, they say we don't want no women coming in here who could potentially be menstruating. So if you like from the ages of 10 to 50, don't come in this temple, period. Don't if you've started your period, so if you 9 or 5, you could come in. Or if you've gone through menopause, you could come in. But if you in the age, don't we don't even and one of the people who leads the temple, he like, when we have a way of determining if you're on your period, then you can come in. But other than that, don't bring your menstruating behind into my temple. But the Supreme Court was like, nah, y'all can't keep the women out. So, they can come into even this shrine. No women, period, says Nikki. So there are women who are, I guess now there are some women going into the shrine, kids and elderly women only, right? There are some women and men, there are some women who are going into the shrine, and then there are people who are protesting. They're like, no, y'all gonna distract God, y'all gonna distract the deity, no, y'all can't, y'all can't come in. And a lot of the protesters are women who are blocking the women from trying to come in. And it kind of reminded me and got me thinking. I was watching a documentary on female genital mutilation. It was on YouTube. I was watching it probably like just a couple days ago, and it was very cute, wasn't it? I see. I was watching it probably just a couple days ago, and what was interesting to me is it's on BattaBox, BattaBox, and that's like a Nigerian person on the street type channel, and I like it. I watch it every once in a while, like not all day, every day. Sometimes I'll get into their videos and watch a whole bunch. But anyway, I like just because it's like Africans and I'm just like, oh, what's going on? So I have 2 missed calls. I was channeling my inner Ayapo, says Nikki. So a lot of the women in the community were like, I think that female genital mutilation is good because, without female genital mutilation, if y'all didn't cut off, if they didn't cut off my, my clitoris, then, I'd have been out here hoeing. That's basically what I heard a lot of the women saying. They didn't use that language, but they were like, you would be promiscuous except that you had your stuff cut off and or cut or whatever. And then they were also saying that a lot of times women have the women in this community, were all the people that they interviewed were in favor of female genital mutilation. The women were saying also that a lot of these women out here, they be having a hard time with childbirth, but once you get your genitals mutilated, they probably don't even use that language of mutilation. They probably like, once you get your genitals straight, then you don't have no problems with childbirth. They were saying, one woman was like, they say that when you have, get your genitals straight out when you 12 or 13, that sex ain't good. But me and my husband, we having good sex. It was just like really interesting to see. The women seem to be like the main, at least in the context of this video, the main proponents and the main advancers of this. And that's kind of been like my confusion with it. Like, I don't want you cutting off. Don't be cutting on me, period. Especially not on my clitoris. That just does not even, it does not compute. No. But I'm like, I don't really understand the cultural context. Now, if the people who are in the culture are like, nah, we not cool with it, then, but it's like, it's very confusing to me. So it's also interesting to see these Indian women who are like, we don't want, women in the temple either. Like, are they like the coon, like the female equivalent of coons? Like they uphold in the master system mode and the master uphold the system? These women suffer many infections and female problems. Well, not according to the women in that village. They say they sex is good. They don't have no infections. They not promiscuous. They childbirth is easy. They was almost about to say they richer than everybody else. They was just very happy according to what they said. Now, I don't know. Dang, it's like it's a bad situation going on here. Just pray for me. So I'm like, maybe in Cyber, them hoes are miserable. Like, I just feel like by definition, how could you not be? They have no feeling down there. I'm like, how could you not be? I don't know. So yeah, that's what's going on in India. And also, that wasn't nice. I'm sorry. Black voter suppression. Senior citizens ordered off bus heading to Georgia polls for early voting. So I saw this story yesterday, I think on Twitter, and for some reason I thought it was an old story, but I guess that in a lot of communities, early voting has started now. So I guess that it was a bus. I don't really even know what the story was and like on what grounds they were like, get off the bus, because what was basically going on is like, no, we're not gonna have you're black behinds, they female cooning, right? They cunting. We're not gonna have your black behinds out here voting, so y'all need to get off the bus and go on back and try again another day, and we're gonna try to stop you another day too. But and we just trying to make it harder and make it like more of a problem. So like if maybe it's 50 of y'all on the bus today, y'all got your schedule straight, y'all could all get on the bus, y'all can't vote today, so maybe 50 of y'all won't be able to get together, maybe just 40 of y'all will be able to get together the next time. So that's 10 votes for us, we stopped 10 votes, and we gonna keep trying. So I don't know on what grounds, the people said get off the bus. I didn't really study. I just saw I saw something on Twitter, and then I see this headline. So what's up with that? I mean, it doesn't really matter what the official story is, because the unofficial story is that I shot you because you were black. So to say, oh, I shot him because he had a cigarette, or because I thought he looked like a suspect, or it's all the main thing is I shot you because you were black, and we stopped you from voting because you black, and we could, and we trying to stop y'all from. Look at this shoulder. We trying to stop y'all from voting. If I had an edited video, I would like put an arrow toward that shoulder. You know how people do on their videos, they count how many times they do things, like the weird things that we do on videos. So I'm probably like up to like 45. We just bring it up to 50 shoulder jerks. I think dumbass Trump is coming here today. Sorry to be off subject, but I just saw some signs, not literal signs, but things that indicate that somebody is coming, says Brother Danubian. Yeah. $33. Right, 33, 99, 66. Tasmanian penguin deaths, dozens killed in suspected dog attack. Now this one right here, she I don't know if she would attack a Tasmanian penguin, but the wife is here in Philly. Because there was something that went on. Arizona loves Trump. There was something that went on. I saw a headline where her plane, they had to like stop her plane because it was like smoke was filling up in the cabin. I'm like, is her husband trying to kill her? Melania. Did y'all see the video? Who did? There's a T.I. who did the video. And somebody said on Twitter, they're like of two minds. Of one mind, they're like that misogynistic T.I. and his, woman hating ways, and then the other mind is like F Melania. It's so confusing being in this society. Why dumping rubbish is a waste of money. I guess they're talking about landfills and like how all that stuff is expensive, and like we create so much garbage, and it's like I don't know. Saudi Arabia using oil weapon option could cause prices to soar to $150. I guess $150 a barrel or something like that. I don't really know nothing about but I think this has to do with the reporter who got killed, and then Saudi Arabia is like, look, y'all better quit asking questions, because if you keep asking questions, we gonna raise the prices. Like deflection, like a mug. And like also it's kind of like it's a non sequitur. Like we asking questions about the reporter over there, so you gonna raise prices on your oil over here? Okay. And somebody was like, highlighting that, Trump is alienating us from Canada, who provides us oil or something. I don't really understand a lot of that stuff. Yep, stupid cave rats. Yesterday I saw 3 or 4 big ass helicopters landing here, and I just saw buses lined up at the airport as a banner. Orthodox church split, 5 reasons why it matters. I don't know what they're talking about. Syrian refugee who lives in a historic manor as in like a manor house, not like manor as in like in a historic way, like I live like the Amish, like in a historic manor. No, like in an old, like this is a English manor, like an old English house. But I don't even know why. Afghan drought displacing more people than Taliban conflict. Wow. Middle East braces for apocalyptic conflict between Israel and Hamas as Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman declares war is inevitable. So, yeah, I don't know. The whole Middle East thing, the whole Israel thing. I'm just here for like freedom and justice and for peace, you know? I'm not really here for displacing people from their land, and displacing them aggressively. I'm not really here for racism. Israel doesn't really have like the best reputation when it comes to dealing with brown people and black people. Israel doesn't really have the best reputation when it comes to, justice and righteousness. At least from from what I've heard and how I understand it. Pakistan Zainab murder. Imran Ali hanged for 6-year old's death. So this was some little girl, rest her soul, who was raped and then murdered. And I guess they got somebody, they convicted somebody. The whole Middle East thing is Hebrew to me, right? And I kind of like have this like feeling that like if I were to like pick a side, if I could understand what was going on, it would not be the Jewish side, ethnic cleansing and genocide. Yeah, I'm just thinking it. I would not be on the side of Israel. When I was in college, a lot of the students went to Israel. A lot of the Jewish students went to Israel and participated in the military. Like I guess the Israeli citizens throughout the world or something. You can volunteer or you're required to go to Israel and like carry a gun. Like I like it's Hebrew to me. It's kind of confusing to me exactly what's going on, but like somewhere in my thing, I'm like, I think that's not correct. It's like every time I hear something, yeah. I wish it would resolve itself and resolve itself. I wish it would be resolved in a way that people could live with dignity and respect and honor. Um, Nothing comes before the tribe. They are ruthless, says Sonia Sees. Yeah. I saw somebody make up they had a funny expression for Ashkenazi Jew. Asked something. I was kind of like, but I forgot it just that quick. I thought it was like, oh, that's clever, but I already forgot it. So the man was hanged for the death of the 6-year-old child, and apparently this 6-year-old child got people's like attention, and they were feeling like a certain way. But then I think in the article they were saying that a lot of children are like raped and murdered. In the black church, they're taught to pray for Israel. More manipulation and brainwashing. I never had nobody in no black church tell me to pray for Israel. Now, I don't know. I mean, that I remember. Now, a lot of times I was a child, but I mean, it's not in my consciousness. Pray for Israel. So, they give the brown people electricity 2 hours a day in Gaza. Yeah, it seemed like you always hear stuff like that where it's kind of like, what the hell? What in the what it just yeah. Those are facts. Huh. So prayers out to this child's family and community and to all of the children who are like raped and murdered. 6 years old, raped and murdered. Israel is vicious. And then the way I just was paying attention to how they were treating these African refugees and these African black African people who were like, well, we're Israeli, or like it's supposed to be like the homeland for all the Jewish people, but it seemed like all the Jewish people who are white skinned, like if you're too brown or too black, definitely if you black, this is not the home for you. I was raised in that system. There's a scripture that says, pray for the peace of Israel, says Ayabo Yaba. Definitely if and they was a minute ago, weren't we just talking about how they was like paying citizens to like round up black people and get them out the country, and it's something. Yeah, Canada, Facebook and MTV are revamping The Real World. I used to watch The Real World after, like, it was already like a thing by the time I started watching it. Like, they might have been like 4 or 5 seasons in, and I watched one season. I was like, what's it, the black people? And then I went back and watched the seasons, and it's like from that show I was kind of like, dang, the thing about it was like from watching those shows that I was like, they sought to sterilize the African women there, says Sonia C's, probably talking about Israel. From watching MTV's The Real World, I kind of felt like you have these black people who are like one black person among all of these white people. They're isolated, they're under pressure. Everybody's under pressure, but they're under a whole different kind of pressure, you know. And then there are some people who will just pick at them, 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 right? Like in a, like, just nitpick at them, subtly. And then when the black person explodes, everybody's like, oh my God, the black person exploded. I don't feel safe. We don't tolerate violence, but they've been like low key violent, of like violating, aggressing this person. And it was just kind of like an interesting dynamic to see. And I felt like it was like really significant for black people in a lot of spaces in this country and in this world. Like, people, it's just like all this pressure and all this picking at you. They should make a show about fishing and call it The Real REEL World, or a show about movies and call it The Real World. Says Ayapo Yapa. Um, but just like how you just like constantly under pressure. Like, I saw this little video about microaggressions where it was like you just get mosquito. Like, if you get one mosquito bite, it's okay. 2 mosquito bites, 3 mosquito bites, but it's just like if you just constantly like getting bit, and then finally you like, ah, oh, nice one, Angela, says Ayapo Yapa. And then finally you're just like, that one mosquito bite come, and you just be like, ah, and people are like, it was just a mosquito bite. I mean, why are you getting so upset? There go the shoulder again. It's just a mosquito bite. I mean, why are you getting so upset? Like, just relax. You black people are so hyper excitable. You're so emotional or whatever. So that's what I think about The Real World. But Facebook and MTV are revamping it. Canada becomes second country to legalize recreational marijuana. So when we talked about Canada and marijuana the last time, somebody was like, Canada has been had legal marijuana. And I was like, well, that is the principle behind the tipping point, says Ayapo Yapa. Um, and so I'm like, I'm just reading the news. I don't know. Do they have it? I don't know. Well, why is it news then? But maybe I was thinking maybe it's the difference between recreational marijuana. Like, you could just smoke just because I want to smoke for fun, as opposed to, here's my medical marijuana paperwork to say that I need to smoke because I have glaucoma. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just telling you, the headlines say that Canada becomes the second country to legalize recreational marijuana. And I think it's one of the bigger countries. Like, Canada is a big country. Uber launches its safety hub for European passengers. They did. They just kept forgetting it. Because, when you smoke a lot of marijuana, you have CRS. I didn't know what CRS was. Somebody taught me this 10 years ago. I'm like, they got CRS? What's CRS? Y'all know what CRS is, right? That you get from marijuana? Can't remember. Skit! Do people really lose, like, do they forget stuff when they smoke a lot of weed? I don't know. YouTube back online after outage. So we talked about that at the top of the show. SimpliSafe monitors the outdoors with its first video doorbell. Helene Pastor murder. Polish son-in-law admits ordering hit. She was like wealthy and he killed her. Of course, he said he admits it. Would you kill somebody for money? How much money would it take for you to kill somebody? Like $100? If somebody's like, I give you $100 if you kill. Would you kill a dog for $100? If somebody said, kill Bella, I'll give you $100. Would you kill a roach for $100? I'd probably kill a roach. I'd probably kill a roach for like free. Y'all, it's 2 dogs on the street loose. And when I brought Bella out to the car, I don't have smoking weed does not affect your memory. I didn't have Bella on a I don't have her on a leash or anything. We just walked out to the car. And these one of these dogs look like a pit bull. Bella just noticed she's standing up looking, but they all the way down the street now. Okay, let's keep going. How like and so when it comes to a person, like I have this friend or I know someone who, in the business that they were in, somebody had stolen some stuff from them, had stolen some money, some merchandise or whatever. And he's like, I was riding around on the street with a gun looking for him. And that's when I realized I need to get out of that business, because I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody over, like, how much money would it take for me to kill? Like, it's like, is it 2,000? If somebody gave you 40,000, would you kill? If somebody stole 1,000 from you, would you kill somebody? Like, what? Well, like, what amount of money? Like, how? Like, I don't know. Like, what amount of money would make me would it be worth it? Like, if somebody's like, hey, I'll give you, $1 million if you kill somebody. Would I kill somebody? Or if somebody was like, they stole $1 million from you, Angela, would I be like, I'm gonna kill them? And would I kill them? Like, how much? I don't know. But anyway, this man killed his this woman over, I'm thinking it's over money, but maybe he killed her because she said something he didn't like. And that's the other thing. Would you kill, like, what would somebody have to say to you for you to kill him? You, Nigger, I'm killing you. When are you going to speak on the headline about legalized pot in Canada? You trying to say your memory is good? I knew that was like the opening line for a joke, but it wasn't even funny. I just laughed to be polite because I feel bad for you. Okay. Chinese woman kills herself. Oh my God, this is not funny. Listen to this story. Chinese woman kills herself and her children after her husband fakes death. So the man got an insurance policy. His wife didn't know about it. He faked his death. He let his car run into the water. It's not a joke. Oh, you're talking about something else. Into the water and disappeared. I think because he was trying to give money for his family. Meanwhile, this is sort of like the story of the woman who had the long hair and the man who had the watch. And the man just wanted to buy a comb to put in his wife's beautiful long hair. And the woman just wanted to buy a chain for her husband's watch. And so she cut off her hair so that she could buy the chain for the watch. And he sold the watch so that he could buy the comb for Romeo and Juliet going wrong. So he could buy the comb for their hair. So they had the gifts, but then they didn't have any. She ain't had no hair to put the comb in, and he ain't had no watch to put the chain with. So it was kind of like, so I think that the man, oh, Henry short story. Oh, Nikki, says Nikki, I don't know it. So I think that the man was trying to like get money for the family. Now I don't know why he didn't. So she found out that her husband was dead, and she just killed herself and her children. I think the children were young. Somebody was telling me about a situation the other day with a woman who killed herself, or they found, I think it was four children and a woman, and they think it was a murder suicide. And I think these were black people though, and the children were like 8 to 16 or something like that. And it's kind of like they were old enough to, like, it just seems like it would have been a terrible way to make their transition. And then what's on a mother's mind who's like killing her child, like, like the person who, when I heard the story, they like, so you kill your first child and then you like, oh, this is a good idea, I'm gonna go on and kill the rest of them. Like, what's going on? Like, it was the awful story. And like, what's going on in the, yes, woman and four children, yes, 8 to 16. um so when I heard of it, it was sort of like they think that it was a suicide, murder suicide, but it wasn't definite. So I haven't heard. I never even saw the story go across my news feed. I heard about it like through word of mouth, not through seeing it anywhere. So yeah, that was the situation. And not that wasn't the but the murder this murder suicide part where the mother, but I think these children were like 3 and young, 3, 6, like young, and they went into a lake. um so yeah, so prayers out to them and their family and community. And then the woman with the 4 children, her family and community and all of that. I know that some people are like very like hostile, like when someone commits suicide, like that's awful. I like, and I do feel like it's awful. It makes me feel sad. I don't so much feel mad at the people who commit suicide. I just feel like really bad for them. And then I feel like a mother to like kill her child. Like it's just really sad to me. So prayers out to like, prayers out to all of us that we can make sound decisions, and that we can connect with God and feel loved by God and supported by God, and even through the mess and the confusion, and because sometimes something could seem to be one thing and it could be something else, like not to say that your husband disappearing and dying is like a good thing, like because you got some money, but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't even dead. And I don't know, like, it's insurance fraud. So, like, was he planning to just disappear or, like, reappear? Or, like, what was his plan? Um, Yemen airstrike, the school that's lost 42 children. That's a lot of children. I don't know how big the school is, but that's a lot of children. And I think that these were the children who were like killed on a bus or something. This Yemen thing is kind of intense because they're saying that the war, we keep hearing about like stuff with the war being bad, but they're saying that the famine, the starvation is worse than the war. Roseanne objects to the manner of character spinoff exit. So I don't know if y'all know, but I think that the Roseanne show went off and the counters started or something like that. They basically hired all of the same people from the other show except for Roseanne, and I guess that Roseanne's character died of an opioid overdose, and she is not happy about it. And they had the most busted up picture of her, being like she's not happy, and she looked like I don't know, how do people look who use opioids? I was gonna say she looked like, oh, poor baby, says Ayapo Yapa. She looked like she could use opioids. I don't know how people look who use opioids, but she looked a mess. That's how she looked to me. She looked a mess. Her spirit, her vibration, she just looked a mess to me. Ugh. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, we're very sad for Roseanne, and we care deeply. MIT's AI, artificial intelligence, can identify breast cancer risk as reliably as a radiologist. Kerch blast, Crimea college bomb kills 10. So prayers out to the 10 people killed on the college campus. I think that just happened this morning or last night or something. This again, it's like it's all Russian to me, like all this stuff going on in the Far East. Finding a busted up picture of Roseanne is like finding a tree in the forest, says Ayapo Yapa. Canada, now world's largest legal marijuana marketplace. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in like the Crimea and like it seemed like it's like warfare, like, but I don't understand. It's like we were saying, it's all Hebrew to me, it's all Russian to me. I don't really know what's going on. Canada, now world's largest marijuana marketplace. California student baked grandma's ashes into cookies. So the child, I think the child baked the cookies and put the grandmother's ashes in them and then served them to the children at school, and somebody found out a couple of weeks later. And I don't know, is that sanitary? I don't know. I mean, ooh, I don't, I just, is your stomach a little upset thinking about imagining eating somebody's remains? I mean, everything theoretically is recycled because nothing in the universe, like, nothing dies. Everything just reverts to something else. So I guess we're always eating something that was something else before. We just don't know it's grandma's ashes, I guess. Six Flags paid six people grandma's recipe. Ew. Six Flags paid six people $300 to lie down in a coffin for 30 hours. Here's what it's like. $300 to lay it. They only got paid $10 an hour to lay in the coffin. They should have gave more money than that for laying in a coffin. I wonder if they buried them. This is coming off of Google Feed Proxy anyway. The 16 healthiest countries in the world. I think I hit the link and I couldn't really get the list of the countries. Let me see. I saw I was buffering. Am I back? Press 1 if you can hear me. Did I go away? Press 1 if you can hear me. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Okay. So we were talking about Simone Biles yesterday and this whole thing. So this person resigned because Simone Biles was on the case and tweeted, shouted the person out. So I know I was buffering to see the circle going around. Am I back? Press 1 if you can hear me. All that circling has just sucked the energy out of me. And now a message from our sponsor. So that means you can't hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody see me? Am I back? Each year, the World Economic Forum releases. The United States lags far behind the 10 healthiest countries in the world. Each year, the World Economic Forum releases its Global Competitiveness Report on the state of world's economies. It compares countries based on analysis of 12 factors, including infrastructure, innovations, and financial systems. One of the factors that the WEF considers is an assessment of the country's human capital is how healthy citizens are. Malta has a long history of quality health care. It's moved up in the rankings since last year. Austria spends about 7% of its GDP on healthcare. The wealthy nation of Luxembourg. We were just talking about Luxembourg 2 or 3 days ago. I didn't know it was a wealthy nation because don't they speak Luxembourgia in Luxembourg? What language do they speak in Luxembourg? Costa Rica, 13, has the best health services in Latin America. And its healthy life expectancy is 71.2 years. So the healthy life expectancy is 71 years. I guess after that you live long, but you don't be healthy. We were talking about Luxembourg the other day. Okay, so then Costa Rica. Canadians take pride in their universal healthcare system. Israel, which was 13th place last year, has gone up 2 spots. Iceland has universal health care and very few citizens have private health insurance. Who wants to live in Iceland? I guess if you don't mind the ice in the land. Iceland? It sounds cold. In Norway, children under 16 do not pay for health services. All of these are. Australia rose 1 spot from last year. France is famous for the quality. France. Many Italians, Switzerland, no African countries, no black countries. 4 countries are tied for first place this year: Japan, Hong Kong, I don't know, Spain, and Singapore. So some brownish countries, but no black countries. No black countries. Well, we got to separate. Okay. Okay. Okay, we talked about that. The Facebook cleaners, I've seen hundreds of beheadings. So we were talking about these people who, like, they're the ones who, like, if you report something like that's racist or that's too sexy or that's violent, they have to look over it. The idea of having seen hundreds of beheadings sounds very disturbing to me. Like, I've never even seen one beheading. Maybe on a movie or something, and I try to close my eyes to not see it. That wouldn't be the job. Iceland is pretty. Oh, Iceland is actually green, and Greenland is icy. Go figure, says Ayapo Yapa. So, Sonia, have you been to Iceland? Iceland is pretty. So maybe we should go to Iceland. Hundreds, plural, of beheadings sounds like a lot. It sounds like a depressing job. Nihanda, the Shona spirit medium that inspired Mugabe. Now, this was interesting. It's coming off of the BBC. But what was interesting to me about this is, remember when I'm always thinking about how in Haiti, they say that the Haitian Revolution was started by some people who were doing like spiritual work, like African-based spiritual work. And they were like, the time is now, the place is here, and we are the people, so let's do this. And they did the thing. And so there was something similar that happened in Zimbabwe. And they say Nihanda is the Shona spirit medium that inspired Mugabe. Now Mugabe was like a modern day person, but I think that this person, when they killed them or when the person died, they said that their bones are going to rise up and keep fighting. I'm trying to get the story because it was kind of interesting. Oh, here it is. Nihanda Nyakasikana was a Shona spirit medium who led the fight against the British colonizers in what is now Zimbabwe in the 19th century. She took her name from the spirit which possessed her, and it gave her great status among her people. She became a spiritual, political, and military leader of the Shona people. She refused to convert to Christianity when she was sentenced to death by the British, promising her bones would rise up and continue the fight. I love that. My bones will rise up and continue the fight. My spirit will rise up and continue the fight. My vibration will rise up and continue the fight. You can't kill me. You can kill my body, but you can't kill this fight. Nihanda Nyakasikana is the next. Oh, yeah. So there's some series that they're doing. Yeah, but she inspired Mugabe. So yeah, yay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Dang, Illuminati. I forgot the name of my people. So yay for Nihanda, the Shona spirit medium that inspired Mugabe. Claps to her and all of the people whose names we know and don't know. Negative 33 or times 33? You trying to take away my 33 claps, Ayapo Yappa? You can't take away my claps, because my claps, my bones will rise up and clap again. And all of the people named and unnamed, known and unknown, that were seen and unseen, who have fought and continue to fight for freedom and justice for us and for all people. Outage pulls the plug on YouTube TV, and YouTube Music. Brazil's School for Politicians gets a taste of power. China disappearances show Beijing sets its own rules. They'll disappear a person. If you're getting on their nerves, they be like Zero. He might disappear somebody who getting on his nerves. You getting on my nerves, you got to go. I don't. So that's what happened. They say it happened in Beijing. They just disappear people if they don't. And they say it happens throughout the world. We don't know anything about that as Black Americans. Netflix expects to hit 146 million subscribers in Q4. Do you have Netflix? Are you one of them people? Tunisia is the first Arab country to criminalize racial discrimination. Is Tunisia in Africa? That's coming off of moguldom.com. If anybody wants to read it, research it, talk about it. With legal recreational pot, Canada leads the way into uncharted territory. U.S. Senator apologizes for revealing names of sex crime victims. Like on some commercial or something, she outing people, and people are like, I didn't give you permission to use my name. Angela Riley was raped. Wait a second, why are you saying I was raped? Why are you putting my name out there? I didn't say you could do that. I feel like I've been re-victimized. That's what happened. So she apologized. Shonda Rhimes boldly talks Netflix deal. I am the highest paid showrunner in television. If it's true, I ain't mad at her. And if it's an affirmation, I ain't mad at her. Now, I don't think I used to watch Scandal. That's the only show of hers that I've ever watched. And I only watched a couple few seasons where it started getting on my nerves. Like that TV show 24, it started getting on my nerves at some point. Like, oh my gosh. Like it just seemed unrealistic. I mean, it's unrealistic, but it's like like she just started getting on my nerves. I wasn't really like, is there any relation to Busta Rhymes, Shonda Rhimes? I wasn't really like, people are like, I was a little bit like at the whole, like, her being a mistress, the black woman being a mistress to the white president. I kind of like that there was a couple scenes with her dad, and there was like one where her father, and the actor who plays her father is really good. He said some stuff. I was like, woo, it kind of like, I was like, woo, that's deep. That was really, about like being black or whatever, North Africa. Well, North Africa. Well, okay, Tunisia is in North Africa. Um, and then I like that she had a black father, Joe Morton, and Joe Morton, he makes me want to watch. Dang, what was that movie? Brother from Another Planet, because I watched that movie once when it first came out, and then years later people were talking about how good an actor Joe Morton was, and they were saying he's a really good actor because in Brother from Another Planet he didn't hardly say anything, and he was the lead character. I'm like, how you gonna be the lead character and didn't say anything? I saw Brother from Another Planet. He said something. I need to see that movie. How could we? He didn't say nothing. So now I'm like, I have to watch it because but I haven't watched it. I've been trying to watch it for probably since I saw that scene on Shondaland on Scandal with him, where I was like, oh my gosh, he killed it. He's an excellent actor. But yeah, I'm not really so familiar with her work. She has like some medical show or something. I don't know that. How to Get Away with Murder. I don't really know. I have I don't I haven't really gotten into it, but apparently a lot of people are into it. She's very popular. So hey, Ethiopians Abiy gives half of ministerial posts to women. So like the ministers, like the minister of health, the minister of education, I don't know, but half of his posts he's given to women. So this person from Ethiopia, who's like, he just out here doing the most, because now the Ethiopian people are reconciled, or the Ethiopian government is reconciled with Eritrea, or however you pronounce it. Now half of the ministerial posts are going to women. Now they let out a lot of the political prisoners. He just seems, you get the impression that he's really, really progressive. Is he, or something else going on? Is it nefarious or is it victorious? I couldn't think quickly enough. When black people make programs that white people like, it's time for a major side eye. Shoot, everything white people got, we made. So they gonna like everything we do. Idaho, I don't know. Yeah. Idaho wildlife official resigns over dead baboon photo. So it was, yeah, he like, my wife wanted to know what African life was like, so I killed these baboons. And it's like a picture of him with a mom, with even a baby baboon. And it was like other stuff. Like he just kind of came across as a butthole. He did not come across good, but the people, he resigned. But I think that they were like, you're in bad taste. You're not, we not cool with you. Um, amid public outcry over his photos of dead animals killed during a hunting trip in Africa. Fish and Game Commissioner he apologized for the image. A photo of him smiling while holding a family of dead baboons, including a bloody baby, sparked the most outrage among colleagues and online. The governor requested his resignation as he failed to exercise good judgment. The governor said in a press release, "I have high expectations and standards." In September, Mr. Fisher emailed his colleagues various photos of himself posing with his kills in Namibia. This hunting trip was reportedly legal. Among the images were photos of him smiling above a family of dead baboons, a giraffe, an antelope, and a leopard. Local media report that he bragged about his hunts in the email, saying his wife wanted to get a feel of Africa, so I shot a whole family of baboons. I think she got a feel real quick. Hey, Kendrick, what's up? So yeah, he resigned. K-pop Hyun A sacked over relationship controversy. So these K-pop stars, like Korean pop stars, they're not supposed to. It's not good for their image, or they're not supposed to be in relationships. Now she and some other pop star have been in a relationship for, I think it was like 5 years, from what I remember from when I read it, when I skimmed it casually. And so she's like, look, I gotta come out and say I'm in love, I'm in a relationship, we together, and so she got fired. Her contract was terminated. Now we don't know if the guy's contract was terminated, but her contract was terminated. So yeah, that's what had happened. They like, we don't want you to be no K-pop star when you're in a relationship. Conservative writer complains that the term white woman is now being used as a slur. Get out of here, you white woman! Does it sound like a slur? Get out of here, you Nigger! There is no such thing as secret love, says Ayapo Yapa. So yeah, the Griot is reporting that, if you're interested. I just feel like some of these white people they just cry. It's just so hard out here. It's hard out here for a simp. They just simple. Yeah. It's just hard out here for them. They have a lot of tears. Okay. Twitter sent out strange, nonsensical notifications to its users. Did you get one? I don't think I got one. But they're saying it was like the code for some icon you see. They're like, that's all it was, a code. Now, we don't know why it was sent out, but it was just a code. Do you think it has, look at them white folks. Do you think it has anything to do with Twitter has, like, today they published like some list of walking by. Walk on by. Those are probably my neighbors. It might be the Puerto Rican princess and her husband. No, I don't know who those people are. I don't recognize the dogs. Usually I recognize people by their dogs. No, well, those people I would. Because they have these big old, like, Great Danes. Bella, your people are going to be back tonight. Same with Becky. Send Bella after them. Angela, gonna let your hair grow out again? Yeah, if I can take care of it right, I need to do a deep condition. I'm supposed to do a deep condition every week. That's what usually happens. I'll do a deep condition for like a few weeks. I've been trying to like moisturize, spray it with water, and put oil on it. I've been trying to take care of it. But there's so many other things that I want to do in life. I mean, I do want to have like long natural hair. Like, I had long locks, but I want to have like long natural hair that I can like twist up and like do, I want to, but I don't think I have the personality for it. Because my top head don't grow that good. I don't understand. I don't have I don't think I have like the discipline and like, oh, I'm going to deep condition every week. Me too, but that didn't work out so well. I'm going to deep condition every week or every 2 weeks, and I'm going to finger detangle, and I'm going to protective. I'm going to make sure I sleep with a scarf, and I'm going to like protective style, and I'm not going to have low manipulation. I cut my hairball. Yeah. Maybe once he gets long enough, I'll just get like a Marley hair weave, like that guy with his daughter, and just get like a Marley hair weave, like, and I love your energy. I'll get like, and then have the pretend experience of having long hair without having to, long natural hair without having to, like be like non-trifling with my hair. You see that dog back there? Bella said, "Don't you get no weave." I see your dog in the car. Can you hear her? She was fussing at that dog going by. I said, "Don't be getting on my don't come down this street no more." Jury presses judge not to overturn $289 million weed killer cancer verdict. So I think this was a case against Monsanto, and I guess the jury is like, give them. I don't know if it was Monsanto, but some weed killer caused cancer, and the people are like, give the person who got cancer $289 million, and the judge is like trying to overturn it. Probably Monsanto was like, we'll give you $100 to come on. We'll give you 100. Hey, doggy. How are you? Bark, bark. She's getting her little brown hairs on me. Yeah, it is getting kind of cold in here, isn't it, Bella? So the smoking weed does not affect your memory. Says Ayapo Yapa. No, weed, not weed like smoking weed, weed like weed killer. Like people think of dandelions as weeds or, those kind of weeds. But the company probably said, we give you $100 to overturn the verdict. $1,000, $1 million. They got a whole bunch of wiggle room. My bad. Did I say that already? Says Ayapo Yapa. Sheriff's deputies who tasered Morehouse graduate to death after California traffic stop identified. Bella sounds like an old lady. She is an old lady. Sonia C says you sound like an old lady. She's not old lady Monsanto. Roundup. Oh, is that who the company was? See, you see how I didn't even say. They just said weed killer. They ain't say the name of the company. The Griot. Bella is about 35, 40, 45 years old in people years. So she's a older. She ain't no young chickadoo, whatever. So when they identify their names, what sometimes the people act like they're afraid to say the names of the people who killed these people. But have we ever heard of any of these killers? Have we ever heard of any of these killers of black people on the street getting killed or anything happening to them? Like, why are they concerned about their safety? It seems like they just do these things and there's no repercussions. It doesn't seem like it's dangerous for them. So, but anyway, they named these people who tasered this person to death. How you gonna taser somebody to death? So maybe there are two different cases, because I think when we were talking earlier, we were talking about an African person who was tasered to death, not an African, but maybe this Morehouse graduate is an African person, because there are African people, a lot of African people who go to HBCU. So I don't know. I haven't looked at the stories. Turkey renames the street of their new U.S. embassy to Malcolm X Avenue by totally ignoring their humanity, says Ayapo Yapa. So why did Turkey choose Malcolm X Avenue? Why didn't they choose George Washington or Abraham Lincoln, or I don't know, some of these white people? Why they choose Malcolm X? Turkey? Like, what's really going on? I'm like, this is really, what does it mean? What does it mean? I mean, I'm here for Malcolm X Avenue, but I mean, Turkey? Video, black woman records police officer manhandling her nephew in Georgia Mall. He's not doing anything. He has rights. That's coming off of the Griot, if anybody wants to see that. Maryland officer charged with raping woman during late night traffic stop. This is the kind of stuff, it's like when it makes me feel a little scared, I mean, I don't have like any interest in dealing with dealing with these people. Like, I don't like to deal with them in the daytime. I don't like to deal with them in the nighttime. I don't like to deal with them alone. I don't like to deal with them in a group. I don't like to deal with them. I just don't like to deal with them. But like, yeah, it's kind of like that's jacked up. And I mean, I don't trust them. I feel like they're low quality people, low vibration people, like, the lowest of the low. And we already said the lowest of the low. So like, we're not really talking about a high quality people anyway. And then they're like, they seem to be like, yeah. So prayers out to that person and anyone who's ever been, experienced, sexual assault. Period. To fight corruption, Kenyans study integrity. Turkey. Wow. I know, right? I need it to be explained to me. I need a theory. What's the story here? So the Kenyans study integrity, but I think I saw earlier they're going to be studying the Bible more to have, like, people behave better. Now, I'm not opposed to studying anything. Like I'm all in favor of studying things. And I think that if the whatever helps you to be a better person, I am here for it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Out here getting these crumbs, I mean coins. Al Shahab in Somalia, U.S. airstrike kills 60 militants. So I'm not really sure what's going on to that. Prayers out to the people who were killed and their families and communities. They're calling them militants. I don't know. Al Shahab in Somalia. I don't, yeah. Missing pianist believed to be buried by wrong family. So the people are looking for the body of the people, and they think that that person already been buried by the wrong family. They probably had a funeral and everything, and the wrong body was in there because they can't find the body of their person. Microsoft's Cortana mobile beta adds conversational voice control. So yesterday, I think it was, or the other day when we talked, I think it was Bonafide 1970 who was talking about Cortana, and we were like, people were like, "What is Cortana?" And I'm like, I guess it's something like Siri, but it's in beta. So like I think beta means like when people are like really into technology and stuff, they get it before other people and try it out. So yeah, I guess that if it was Bona, whoever it was like, letting us know that they like all ahead of the technological curve and stuff. Chicken nuggets grown in a lab. The peacekeepers who turned war criminals in the Central African Republic. Salesforce CEO Mark Bainoff on his Twitter beef with Jack Dorsey. You're either for the homeless or you're for yourself. I don't even know what. Bye, Angela. You have a wonderful day, and I will be fabulous me. Bye, everyone. Bye, Kendrick. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Welcome. Goodbye. Americans fear they can't identify social media bots. I understand that fear. I've dealt with a couple people, and I'm like, are you a bot or not? I mean, are you a bot or nah? I mean, what's up? That's what you know. Extreme weather could trigger a global beer shortage that causes prices to skyrocket worldwide. A beer shortage. I don't drink beer, so I don't really care. New York went an entire weekend without a shooting or homicide for the first time in 25 years. Yay! Snapchat is a popular source for news among college students. So a lot of college students are getting their news from Snapchat. But that was very confusing to me because I'm like, well, Not News is not on Snapchat. So I don't understand. I thought everybody was getting their news from Not News. Trump is already much love, Ron Redbird. Thank you for the flower. Hey, I haven't seen our bird in a while. Trump is already swimming in cash for his 2020 reelection campaign. The people love him. The people love Zero. They want him to just stay forever. Google CEO Sundar Pichai says employee protests against the company's work with U.S. military had little impact on management. We don't run the company by referendum, meaning we don't care about what them little people. We the big bosses. We making decisions up here. Them little people down there protesting and care. We don't care nothing about that. We don't run this company by referendum. No, we don't. Larry Page's air taxi company cuts a deal with Air New Zealand. I don't know why that's on there. I don't even know who they are. Error blamed for anti-white racism vote. Ew, chicken nuggets grown in a lab. Maybe it flew somewhere else because of the winter. um, Julian Assange given feline ultimatum by Ecuador. So I guess he's living this. I think this is the person who did like WikiLeaks or something like that. And I think he's living in like the Ecuadorian consulate or something. And so apparently he does not keep his bathroom clean and he does not take care of his cat. They like, look, you got to keep your bathroom clean and you got to take care of your cat. Antelope named Taylor Swift escaped Sacramento Zoo enclosure. Swift, like it's Swift. I wonder why the antelope, Taylor Swift was named after the singer, I guess. I wonder why the antelope was trying to escape. I feel like if I lived in a zoo, I'd try to escape too. Do I live in a zoo? Should I try to escape? I'm kind of interested in like I wish I knew what was going on in the minds of the like do they feel like oppressed? Do they feel like yeah, are they organizing for freedom? Are they like trying to communicate with each other? These savages will go bonkers without their poison beer, says Brother Danubian. Australia considers following U.S. on Jerusalem embassy. So the U.S. moved their embassy from "How dare those animals try to get free," says Ayapo Yapa. The U.S. under Trump and his son-in-law Jared Kushner or somebody, they moved the Israeli consulate, the Jerusalem embassy from one place to another place, and it was sort of like a symbolic move that basically said we're in terms of the whole Middle East conflict, the US, we with Israel, we with her, we with Israel. And so now Australia is considering following the embassy. To me, places like Israel, Australia, South Africa, Germany, the United States, they seem like extremely racist, backwards, regressive, like just shitty, skitty to me. Like they all seem like they're kind of like the same type of vibration. Paris air attack, fake victim Alexandra Damon jailed for fraud. Paris attack, fake victim Alexandra Damon jailed for fraud. So I guess this person was like, I was part of the Paris attack. I don't even know what the Paris attack is, but I was part of the Paris attack. I'm a victim. And I don't know if they were like getting people to give them money or getting people to help them out. Like, I guess if you were to say, I was a victim of 911, help me. And then, people are like, Angela wasn't no victim of 911. And they're like, you're going to be jailed for fraud. That's what happened in this Paris attack situation. Kidman, Cruz marriage protected me from harassment. What's her name? Somebody Kidman. She's an actress too, and I guess she was married to Cruise, like Tom Cruise, and I guess the marriage she felt protected her from sexual harassment. Kanye West meets Uganda's president, gifts pair of sneakers. Nicole Kidman. Lyft's $299 all access service is available across the United States. So for like $299, you could get 30 rides a month or something. Does anybody use Lyft? Is that a good idea? Are you excited? Are you running out and subscribing? Zero is a kid man, says Ayapo Yapa. He is. Trump is like Trump and that Kanye and Trump. I didn't see in like I just saw like 2 seconds of footage, but it's like their vibrations, they're like equally matched, or they seem like they're equally yoked. They could get married and live happily ever after. Former NFL player arrested after wife catches him naked with a 12-year-old girl, and when she caught him naked, he had his penis in his hand. This is coming off the grill, so I guess this is a black person. I'm glad that I'm assuming his wife caught him and then he got arrested because she called the cops on him. Now, I'm not in favor of calling the cops on any black person, but I'm definitely not in favor of any grown man having his penis out and about around 12-year-old children or any age children. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the situation is, but I think that's their cleaning people. From in the mirror, the color of the car looked like a bluish green, but in real life, it's like that same blue car. Oh, it's not the blue car, but I was gonna say it's okay. Um, Yeah, so I don't know who the former NFL. I don't know who the story is. That's how the Rio has the headline, and I didn't hit it. Black Mrs. American contestants say owner called them N-word and whores. He told me black women need to stop having four baby daddies. That's coming off of the Rio too. Now I guess it's not like any surprise that a lot of these people think whatever they think. But it is still, it would be surprising to me if somebody came up to me and called me a whore and the N word and said that black women need to stop having four baby daddies. Because I'm like, I don't even know anybody who has four baby daddies. A nigger and a whore. I mean, I think I would just be like, oh, even though intellectually I'm like, whoa. But emotionally, I think it would be pretty shocking to me. So it was Mrs. America. So these are like married. I think you have to be like married to be in Mrs. America. I don't know, but yeah. Hinge's AI will use first date back feedback to improve matches. So AI, artificial intelligence, I guess Hinge is some dating, big up relatives. Um, I guess Hinge is some dating app, and they're gonna like once you go on your first date, they're gonna like get the feedback and like make your matches better. I had someone come up to me and say that to me, and I just said, Dad, don't talk to me like that, says Ayapo Yapa. I'm not reading any more of your comments. Will the robots replacing people at Amazon get my order right? Um, I guess while you're moving, I could move and turn it because it's cold, girl. We gotta turn the heat on. We gonna freeze to death. Did y'all just hear the charger turn on? It's probably gonna turn the mute, the rate. The I think I got talk radio on. Venezuela crisis hits food markets and a morgue. I don't know what that means. How New Zealand is trying to take on child poverty. Letter from Africa. Kanye unveils biblical strategy to tackle. Oh, Kenya. Oops, sorry. Letter from Africa. Kenya unveils biblical strategy to tackle corruption. We talked about that a little. Remains of 11 infant bodies found inside a shut down funeral home. I think this was in Detroit. So one person, and I'm like, why would there be like 11 babies in a funeral home? I don't understand. Like, why would the remains be there? Like, didn't they bury them? Didn't they cremate them? I don't understand. And then one person was saying, I think that my baby may be in there because I was really young when my baby died, like 16, 17. And we were going to have the funeral at that place. And then when the time came, we didn't have the money because y'all know how these funeral places are. They're like, it's gonna cost you $2,000, and if you don't have this $2,000, we not gonna have the funeral. And people are like raising money, like we need, it's like a desperate situation. We can't have the funeral because we don't have the money. Like I haven't had like 80 people approach me like that, but I've been approached by a good 3 or 5 people who are like, the funeral is supposed to be on Tuesday and we don't have the money and can you give $20? And it's kind of like, oh my gosh. But I guess if you're in the funeral home business, I guess that's the best leverage you got. But this person said that they were supposed to have a funeral for their baby, and then they did not end up having the money, so they did not end up having the funeral. But then when they got the money, it was like a year later or something, and they went back to the funeral home and they're like, where is my baby? And they said the funeral home gave them like the name of like 5 or 10 places that the baby could have been buried. It was some like run around. They never found their baby, the body of the child who had passed away. So they're thinking that, maybe, and I think they like the children were like up in the drop ceiling or something weird. It was something weird. Like I'm like, funeral homes are a ripoff, says Sonia Sees. Yeah. So anyway, that's coming off of the Rio if you want to read more about that. Ryanair crew spent night on airport floor, says Union. Now they had a picture of about 5 or 10 people laid out on the floor in their uniforms, like just laid there, like no blankets, no sleeping bags, no nothing. And I'm like, is this like a real live shot of the people who work for Ryanair? Or is this like, how they have stock footage? Is this stock? Like what's the situation? But I'm glad that they have a union and that their union is on it, because when I was applying to be a flight attendant, it was like all of the stuff like you get per diem for this, you get per diem for that. If you're on call, you get money for this. If you're if you have a layover, you get put up in a hotel, you get food vouchers. It seemed like they like we're supposed to be taking care of them people. So that picture of them people laying on the floor like in their uniforms and stuff, it looked really weird to me. Cops caught after Wu-Tang claims RZA unloads on hospital staff over son's treatment. I was kind of curious about the story because I didn't know if it was like a case of did they like okay, so if your son is in the hospital, if your child is in the hospital, I'm imagining it's already a stressful situation. Then if your child is in the hospital and the people are not treating you right, like racism, then that like increases the stress of the situation. And so maybe you're liable to go off and be like, now hold on just a second, because we're not gonna have you treat my child. I don't know. Or is he or like no, like I was just kind of like really curious about the story, because to me I just feel like it's probably the hospital's fault. Like why they calling the cops on RZA? Is that how you pronounce his name? Capital R, capital Z, capital A. Why are they calling the cops on RZA when his son is in the hospital? The staff is probably out of line. They should be calling the cops on them. Kalen Haywood Jr., 19, becomes youngest state legislator in history of Wisconsin. That's coming off of Black Den. Yay! 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 times 13 more times 13 more. Yay! Kalen Haywood Jr. I don't even know what his politics are. What if he's like a conservative Republican child? And I'm like clapping for him. But so we just gonna give him 13. But I like young people out here. I like a young person to do something. If not them, who? If not now when? If not this, what? TSA outlines its plans for facial recognition on domestic flights. The Apple Watch is being used to study joint replacement in patients. So we were just talking about the Apple Watch and something healthcare related the other day. Boko Haram kills second aid worker in Nigeria. So that's it. That's it for this edition of Notes on the News. That's the end of my stories. That's the end of the news feed. So anything that you're looking forward to or that you have coming up that you're excited about, drop that in the comments. Share the good news, anything exciting and good and happy and wholesome and celebratory going on for you personally, your family, and your community. Share the good news. It is on purpose that we are all here together, whether you are live. Yay! Thank you for the likes, or virtual, not live, but part of the replay. That reminds us also that don't go, Angela, do a marathon. That reminds us also that if you came on late or you had to leave early or, whatever, you can always watch it on the replay. I just happen to record live, and I like a live because I get to chit chat. But I mean, the point is to put it on the channel. So you can go to the channel and watch it anytime. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that other good stuff. The channel is Be Fabulous You. You can tell we doing the wind down now, so that's letting you know that it's we gonna be leaving this room soon. But you don't have to leave channel Be Fabulous You. You go explore. Go check out my reviews and recaps of Skinny Girl in Transit. I think I got up to season 2, and there might be like only 4 seasons. Go check out Skinny Girl in Transit. It's like my favorite show, and it comes on the YouTube. Oh, I was watching House Husband on the YouTube yesterday, but I stopped. But go watch House Husband and tell me what you think of that. Watch some other notes on the news. Watch my recaps, reviews of Queen Sugar. Look at some of my playlists for books. Much love and respect. Great show, Ayapa Yapa. Thank you. So we're doing the wind down. You don't have to leave here, but you don't have to go home, but you know what I'm saying. It's on purpose that we're here together. You are blessed and you are a blessing. You are the greatest. You are the number one stunner. I really, really, really appreciate you being here and being you. The heat feels good. Stay live or else. I don't know why I turned this around. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Thank you, Sonia. Be fabulous you. Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Much love, Empress Sonia sees. Fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. Bella kind of looked up. She kind of yawned. Like, all right. Go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Be fabulous. Make it fabulous. By the fabulous. Habaragani. Umoja. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. We here for our brothers and our sisters. Go out and do something for somebody in the family. Peace.